Good morning, everyone. Catherine Cooke, founder of The Engine and leading business advisor, and we are live this morning talking about my favourite topic at the heart of customer experience is emotion. I'm joined with the other advisors in The Engine, Rankin and Peter Cooke, along with Corbett from Switch Copy, who does a lot of copywriting for many of our clients. Good morning, everyone.
Morena.
Good morning.
Morning.
Right, well, let's start with a little intro from each of you and your thoughts around customer experience and emotion. Peter, you used to be CX at Lotto and EnviroWaste. What is your quick take on our topic today?
Hi, and good morning, everybody. Thanks, Catherine. Yeah, I mean, I've been involved in the customer experience, both at a strategic and operational level for over 25 years. And a lot of people would ask questions around whether customer experience is really about emotions. And I always answer them with an absolute yes. It always has been about emotions and it always will be. It really is that simple. So it's a really great topic for us to be covering off today.
Fantastic. And Kat, for me, when we link customer experience to emotion, this topic should be at the forefront of sales for businesses. You and I both know what emotional intelligence is, but a lot of people will read it as EI and go, what is that all about? So it's our secret weapon for salespeople, and you get to write a lot of lead pages that draw in customers into that sales funnel. So how do you get the pulse of it for each business when you're doing copywriting?
Yeah, emotion is at the heart of sales. You're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. And really, it all starts with having that really deep understanding of an audience. But it's not just from a demographic perspective. It's really digging deep into their psychographics and understanding what makes them tick emotionally. So what do they desire? What do they fear? What do they believe? Do they have any false beliefs? And so then what I do is I find the stories that really help them identify where they are and why they're stuck, and then illustrate the transformation that is possible with the business solution on offer. But really getting to the emotional heart of someone's problem is at the core.
Wow, gosh, lots of really lovely words in there. I absolutely love the heart. And, the reality is that, often, Kat, you get to speak to a customer and they have to go away and do a bit of homework because they actually have no idea what their customers think. So sometimes I've heard you say, well, I've actually got to come back to them until they actually get, a bit more insight. So thank you very much for that. Enlightening. Christine, you're a leadership specialist. How important is it for a leader to have a very strong customer focus?
Absolutely and utterly essential. It's got to be the core of every business. And if it isn't, why are you there? Because all of us, no matter what we're doing, we're serving a customer. And it is about the emotional connection with that customer. And if the leader's got the customer focus, and if you haven't as the leader, why on earth are you there? If you haven't got it, that means everything to repeat business and to people feeling that they're part of your organisation. It's crucial.
I love it. That is absolutely, you're utterly essential and crucial, really, really strong words. And, at the end of the day, we look to our leader for their behaviour, and it's just something that's kind of entrenched in our makeup, to look at other people and follow their directions. So, Peter, coming back to you, in your years of managing customer experience team, why are emotions so central to the customer experience?
Well, that's pretty simple, really. I mean, all customer experience boils down to how your customers feel about an experience with your brand or your business. And these feelings occur whether or not the customer's expectations are met or not. So customer experience is simply what your customer thinks. It's not what the business thinks it is. It's absolutely all about what the customer thinks and feels. I'll give you an example of some after-sales experience for a client. Imagine a mother has a minor car accident on the way to work, which results in her car not being drivable for a couple of weeks. She calls the insurance company. She's anxious, she's upset, she's concerned. How is she going to take her child to daycare each day? How is she going to get to work? The daycare isn't on a regular bus route. So the emotions she's feeling when she calls that insurance company determine her expectations. The company's ability to reassure her that she's covered for a rental vehicle, that she's able to get her car towed, to collect her car immediately replaces the stresses and the fear and the concern with relief and happiness about the outcome in that experience. So that's a really basic example of how what we do and how we interact with customers can change their emotion and influence their emotion from a negative to a positive. It can also influence the other way if that experience they have is not positive. So it can have that negative effect. So that's why it's so critical that when we're thinking about the experience as a business, it's not just the original sales experience or even the brand experience. It's also that after sales and ongoing service experience that's so critical.
Absolutely, absolutely. And people seem to think that when you finished a sale, that's the end of it, but the after sale is absolutely essential. Like, why would you even go through all the trouble of driving that client into your business and not continue the journey with them? So, you know, it's just something that's completely forgotten in many businesses is after sale. Kat, circling back to you, before I go into my next question, I think I probably would like to drill down a bit more about what you do, because I know I talked about copywriting and lead pages, but what is it that you actually do in your business that helps other people in their businesses? Like, when we're referring people to you, I know what you do, but the audience here doesn't really know. So what do you actually do?
So essentially, I help my clients articulate or get to the heart of who they actually serve as an audience first. And then it's about really understanding, like I said previously, understanding that audience from an emotional perspective. And then from there, it's really about planning out how we take people on a journey to get them to know, like, and trust that business and ultimately purchase. And that can look very different depending on where that person is and whether if they know the business or if they don't know the business, how far along that purchase process they are.
Wow, yeah, and I like how you used the word serve, and Christine used that before too. And if I really dumb it down, I mean, serving has been something that's kind of been in our DNA. I think about my mum when I first started working as a checkout operator. She was like slapping us on the knuckles in a nice way, saying, make sure you don't talk to your packer. You're here to serve the customer, and you build up that rapport, and then every week the same people come through because they've built that trust in that relationship with you. They tell you things that they probably don't even tell their families and friends. So, Kat, just in terms of what you do, you know, we've often discussed the importance of your experience with copywriting and how what you do is linked to creating and building an emotional experience. Why is it important to evoke emotions with copy?
Well, at the heart of it, business is about solving problems. And the definition of a problem is a situation, question, or a thing that causes difficulty, stress, or doubt. These are all emotional responses. We're emotional beings. And when we make a purchase, we're not actually just buying a thing or a service. We're buying an emotional transformation. So, for example, if someone wants to get fit, deep down, they may actually be lacking in confidence. And so to help them become more confident, one of the things they may do is join a gym. But it's not just the act of joining a gym. What they're trying to feel is an underlying feeling of confidence. They want to go from not being confident to feeling confident. So, and the same could be said for a leader who may be looking for coaching to better manage his team because he's feeling frustrated that he can't get the results that he needs from them. What he's hoping for through the coaching is to feel empowered to get the best from his team. It's an emotional transfer. And I believe that's what business is. It's the transfer of emotions or feelings from an undesirable state to a desirable one. And it's the transformation that needs to be conveyed in any messaging.
Love that word transformation. It's a word that Christine uses quite often in the work that she does under leadership transformation. But I like how you were just taking us on that journey around building confidence, because it's really important. And, you know, I work with a client now around Albany, and, you know, their whole objective is also about no judgment. So, you know, that really comes through in terms of what they do. They do stuff outside of the club where they all go and sign up to, you know, maybe do a run together or something, but there's no judgment. They're all different shapes, sizes, you name it, everything. And it's just so important because it's a sense of belonging. And when you have that sense of belonging, then the after sale component is that people will talk about you, you know, you'll continue on that journey. So our words are so crucial, and often we see in companies that there's a top-down effect. Employees copy the behaviour and emotions they see their leaders exhibit, and in turn they project those emotions to customers. So Christine, coming back to you, can you share more about the importance of emotions in leadership and just how critical modelling good emotional experiences are?
Well, you know, New Zealanders, excuse me, are not very good at emotion. They like to keep everything on an even keel. You don't give people feedback, and, you know, you've got to really watch. Don't, heaven help you, never cry. This is ridiculous, because transformational leadership is all about emotion. It's about inspiring and motivating. So you can't do that unless you're emotional about your product. But you can't just say it. You can't tell people that they've got to give good customer service and, you know, you want them to link with them. The whole organisation from the top down has to be geared to make that happen, and you've got to feed it every day. I walk into organisations and they have lists of values and customer service and how you relate to the customers off in there, and I say, show me how that's happening. It's not, because they don't live it and breathe it. You know, there is no point in having things like values that talk about emotion and they're not living it. You've got to live it and breathe it every day. And as the leader, you feed it every day. You can't just say it. It's not about, you've got to have it written. You've got to practice it. You've got to remind people all the time and reward it when it's happening, because that emotional connection, you know, if you get the emotional connection with someone, you will never go to anyone else for that service. So New Zealanders have got to loosen up a bit and not be afraid to create that emotional connection.
Absolutely love it. And, you know, the reality is that, you know, we've been talking about, you know, vision, mission and value, and leaders are writing all of that. They're not even engaging their team in the process. And when you engage your team into the process of writing your vision, mission and value, you actually get them on the journey. And I use the analogy that, you know, think about going on a bus. Would you all hop on a bus that had no destination? And then would you all hop on a bus with no destination and not know what you're going to be doing? Because what you'll end up with is you'll end up with perhaps a driver or not, or you'll end up with people sleeping on the bus, and you'll get to the destination and there would have been prep work that should have been done, which is all part of the values. So what is my role in this? You know, how can I participate and how can I be engaged and on the journey? So absolutely love what you're saying there, Christine. And I think, you know, people have really forgotten that whole value is an evolving thing. Like we start a business plan and we write that, but it evolves, because it evolves as we build and as we hire people. And we don't hire people just to do a job. We hire people for their thinking and for what they contribute and bring to the table. Otherwise, you know, why hire people, you know?
And the business plan means nothing if the leader and every person in the organisation doesn't live it and breathe it. And I know I keep saying it, but people don't understand it. You know, sometimes people will write a business plan, you know, their vision and their mission and their goals, and they'll write pages and pages and pages, which is just a dust gatherer. It's put in a bottom drawer and it's never thought about again. Don't waste your time. If that's what you're going to do, don't waste your time. There is a beautiful, clean process that I am more than happy to help you with, which will change the way you get your results, and boy, will you get them.
And it's about accountability, and it's also, like you said, you've got to continuously feed that information. I was actually with a client's team a couple of weeks ago, and you know, we'd actually gone through that process of actually surveying the employees and surveying the customers, and the reality was that helped us shape the vision, mission and values. Like, we knew as a business where we were going, but we wanted to check in and see that everybody was on board. And it's been quite interesting because you've got visual people and you need to have them on the wall, but you actually need to talk about it as well. And you need to celebrate it. You need to celebrate it, because if you don't celebrate it, people will just go, it's just lip service without any kind of structure or just appetite around it. So So look, we've touched on some real key points about the importance of emotions in the customer experience, but to improve, we need to bridge the gap between what we want our customers to feel and what they're feeling. So Peter, coming back to you, how do you go about learning about what your customers are feeling as an advisor?
Oh, it's absolutely critical to hear the voice of the customer. If you want insights into how your customers are feeling, thinking, experiencing their interactions with you and your business, then you have to get that from them directly. And that's critical to how you survive and how you grow. The engine, offers and facilitates independent customer surveys, which helps our clients to focus on those key opportunities and just brings that voice of customer to life for them. Those insights from that feedback are so crucial to any business. And in terms of both validating the things that you do well, but also highlighting the not so good things that need your attention. I think it's important to remember we want to get feedback to validate and reinforce what we are doing well, because we want to make sure that we do more of those and do them more often and continue to do them better and do less of the other and actually eliminate where they need to be eliminated if they're really negative. And having a regular feedback and insights program or plan in place can really help businesses focus on those experiences that really matter most to customers. And that's the key. We want to deliver more of those that matter most to them, that make them feel good. And the importance of understanding the way a customer remembers their experience and provides us the feedback is in fact the reality of that experience. It's what they remember. And when they remember it and they tell people and they tell the story, that's the reality of the experience. And I guess the last thing for me is it's all about the feelings they have from that experience. And, as we know, feelings are all about emotions.
Absolutely. And you talk about doing the customer survey, and that's obviously an employee survey and a customer survey, right?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. As I think was touched on previously, how our staff and employees feel about what they're doing and how they feel about the business, our brand, their job, absolutely mirrors and flows through to how they deal and interact and what experiences they create for customers. So totally agree.
And I like how you're talking, Peter, about how it should be part of an ongoing plan, because let's face it, in a year, lots of things can change. I mean, I've got customers that will do both the customer survey and also the employee survey, in a 6-month cycle, and it goes hand in hand with reviewing strategic plans and outcomes and just really keeping on track. So every company is different, but if you're not actually taking a plan into your workforce that actually does ask the questions from everybody, then you'll always be where you always are. As I always say to people, you've got to get insights from everybody that's involved, not just the stakeholders, but everybody. So in terms of finding out what your customers are feeling, it's just the beginning. It's from there that you start building and improving your customer experience plan. One way we do this at the Engine is we have a Riders and Elephants workshop. People will be thinking, what, they ride elephants? No, it's the name of the brand. And it's absolutely a fun way to get everybody involved. Think of it like this: you've got everyone in the room and there'll always be the same people that do the talking. But if everyone in the room has a set of cards and they've given an opportunity to hold something and present the cards of how they're feeling, then they bring a voice to the table. So we can help facilitate that for you. We can help you understand your customers better with the customer experience deck that we use through Riders and Elephant. Customers just aren't data points. They're human beings. And when you truly understand your customers, you'll understand how they want to feel. Then you'll be able to obviously build your approach with them. The customer experience decks helps you to understand what you do and don't know about your customer. People seem, and you were talking about this before, Christine, about New Zealanders need to change. They do need to change. They need to understand that when they get feedback from the customer, they need to look at it from the shoes of the customer and go, what learning can I take out of it? Now, there will be the odd occasion sometimes where, and we've all had this, where maybe a customer has not understood what's been given to them, but I come back to how did you communicate it and what was the expectation? And that's really, really important. So for me, to understand and have meaningful conversation, you've got to create a truly customer-centric business. And so we can facilitate that and implement it through doing that workshop. So Christine, coming back to you, what would you say to any business owner out there or leadership teams about working with you to improve their customer experience?
Well, I have a recipe that I've worked on for a long, long time, and it comes from the experience of being part of a team and then leading the transformation of one of the worst performing government departments in the country, and that department became a world leader. I know how to do it, and I absolutely love working with people to show them how to do it. And it's easy, it's straightforward, and it gets you such results that you can't help but be pleased with what you've gone through. It's a matter of just knowing what to do, and I can help you with that, and I'd love to.
You know, Christine, I'd love to pick you up and pop you in the beehive with every political party right now, because I think they all need to survey New Zealanders about what we really want, because at the end of the day, decisions get made, but, are they actually hearing what people need, And
they don't understand business or live business at all. They don't understand the customer experience. And it's one place I wouldn't want you to send me, Catherine.
Well, maybe we'll go in together, Christine, and we might see a difference.
Oh, they'd get a fright.
Yeah, I think they might too. And it won't be about what we're wearing; it'll be about how we're walking and holding ourselves. So, but it is so crucial. You need to understand, just exactly what is happening, to a full 360 review before you actually go out there with a plan. So Kat, what advice would you give business owners on taking customers on a journey using the written word?
Two things, and we've covered it a lot, but the first is know your audience deeply.
Yes.
What emotional transformation do they want? What's holding them back from getting it? And how do you help them on their journey? And the second thing is understand what business you're really in. For example, if you run a gym, are you in the business of fitness, or are you actually in the business of helping people feel more confident?
Oh, wow. That just, and a lot of people would probably think that they're in the business of making people feel confident, but they're actually operating as a gym, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what I'm getting out of it. So amazing. And the written word does have to align with how you behave and how you react, because if it's very, very different, and we all know that from visiting fast food places over the years, where McDonald's was at the number one helm of fast delivery and everything was correct, and then everyone else wasn't, and you kind of saw the difference between, that's if you do fast food. I haven't been in fast food for a while, so I'm not sure. Peter, coming back to you, how critical to business success do you consider understanding the emotional journey your customers go on?
Oh, look, it's absolutely critical that the emotions that customers experience during their journey with you can make or break the relationship. It's that simple. And by understanding your customers' emotions better, you're in a better place to deliver on experience that strengthens your brand loyalty and affinity. So it's, again, going back to what I said earlier, that it's about, treating customer experience as not what you as a business think, but understand the emotions your customer is feeling in every interaction with you and your brand. And I guess to sum it up for businesses too, your goal in business is to provide positive, emotionally satisfying customer experiences. That's essentially what you're there to do, because the purchase or the service you provide stands and falls on whether you deliver on that promise.
Absolutely. And Peter, you also, as well as being an advisor, are the director of Allali Estate, and you've completely entrenched customer experience into Allali Estate. So at the conclusion of any event, do you want to just talk about what you do in terms of the after sale for the customer service, or customer experience, I should say?
Yeah, so we do survey our customers extensively to get the insights that we're really looking for from them, because the journey that our customers go through with us can sometimes be 12 to 18 months long, but with very limited interactions over that period, culminating obviously in the delivery of the event, the wedding, the function, whatever, on a particular day. That's really critical as a result of all that planning. So it's the key for us is understanding all those touch points, what is happening in the customer's world, their emotions and their feelings. I think the key thing that we focus on is not over promising. It's not about trying to do everything for everybody. It's having a good understanding of what we do well, what we're able to back up in terms of the promise we make, and really ensuring we deliver that consistently.
And just coming back to Christine in terms of the recipe, I think we could write our own Alison Holtz book soon, but it won't be about cooking, and it'll be about business. You know, obviously, when you do that survey, Peter, you know, obviously there's some sweet spots that you are getting out of it that continue that journey in terms of marketing to the next customer. So if anybody wants to know more about that, do connect in with the engine around what we do and how we do it. In terms of wrapping up, I just wanted to share a testimonial from one of our client, Absolute Scaffolding. They're based up in Warkworth, and they engaged in doing the surveys with us. And so Wendy wrote, Catherine also recommended we hear the voice of our customer, and we engaged a customer survey produced by the engine, which delivered insights and learnings along with humbling testimonials from our customers. We look forward to putting those learnings from our customers into action. The engine has been a solid and reliable source of education and guidance in these challenging times, and it's great to know that they're just a phone call away. So that's what we do. We're very heart-centric. We believe in understanding not just where our clients are at on a professional level, but also on a personal level, really get to the root of who they are as human beings. Christine, one quick sentence wrap up from you about the topic today.
Look, don't discount emotion in your business. It is the core of everything you do.
Pat.
I have to echo Christine. It really is. When you understand how your audience feels, you can serve them with messaging that resonates.
Peter.
As I said before, customer experience is absolutely about emotions, always has been, always will be. It needs to be at the top of any business planning or strategy planning for any business. That's simple.
Absolutely. And look, we're going to be doing more of these LinkedIn Lives. Our next session is talking about taking the opportunity out of the recession and growth that can be there for you if you are open to it. And I want to just talk just quickly before we go about that, because now is a really good opportunity for businesses to understand what their customers are thinking and really build and propel from the opportunity. You know, don't click on the clickbaits of doom and gloom. Don't look at what other people are saying about interest rates, inflation, and staff shortages. They're things that are there. Control what you can control. And in your business, you can certainly control leadership and strategy and direction and behaviour. So, you know, coming back to everybody in here, absolutely love the insights and learning today, especially on a Monday morning and after a really dreaded weekend of rain again. Here I'm saying doom and gloom, but the sun's shining. We've got a start of a new week, and open to anybody coming to us, Kat, Christine, or Peter, or myself, about anything to do with customer experience and leadership transformation. So have a good week, everybody, and look forward to catching up with the next crew on Thursday, talking about growth in the recession.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thanks,
Take care.
Catherine.
See ya. Bye-bye.